Darrin LaMantia in the red, in the black and green, and Sergio Rivera in the all-black. Hellhound versus the Cobra. Rivera opens up with a kick. He's in that southpaw stance. LaMantia in the orthodox, James.
Yeah, and one thing you'll note from Sergio's striking skills, he does fight from both stances, though it seems as though southpaw is where he is most comfortable.
Got to talk about the physicality and the difference here. I mean, LaMantia, a bigger guy, but that's what Rivera is used to.
Yeah, he's not used to having reach advantages. He's used to exactly the opposite.
Good feeling out process here. Love the movement from LaMantia, just circling away from that power, trying to set some strikes up. Big push kick there, Charlie Quinn.
Yeah, I mean, not as exciting so far, but, these guys are feeling each other out.
Well, that's the mutual respect. Both these guys, from the time this fight was announced, I was talking to both guys, and they both just respect each other so much. Ooh. Neither one felt they needed to talk junk or be like that. Just a tremendous amount of respect for each other's skills. They knew this fight was going to happen sooner or later, and so do we all.
It's a test of true martial arts mastery here. And I don't want to say passing the guard necessarily, but if Darrin LaMantia can get past Sergio Rivera, boy, that puts him in the upper echelon of Eastern Seaboard martial artists.
Absolutely, especially at this weight class. Sergio's top of the food chain for 125ers in this weight class. Or I should say 125ers in this area. Darrin's right up there, too. This is a great test for both guys.
Beautiful entry by Rivera, forcing LaMantia across the cage. Darrin wise to it, pummeling under here, James.
Yeah, and Sergio is so much stronger than you would think he is, by the way. But Darrin wise to it, using his underhooks well. Sergio left their headlock, now getting his back taken.
Couple strikes from the Cobra, now he's trying to put some hooks in.
But Sergio, working his jiu-jitsu at Freedom Jiu-Jitsu down in Patrard, Medford, he's no slouch to having really good guys on his back.
LaMantia kind of slipping down here a little bit. 60 seconds to go. Not a ton of time to try and wrap something up, but when you're in there with the Cobra, one thing is for sure. He can get a finish out of nowhere.
And on top of it, this is time you're killing clock if you're Darrin in the most dominant position you can get. So if nothing else, you're happy to be taking the clock away here rather than anywhere else.
Rivera fighting the hands. Beautiful turnaround. Excellent reversal for the Hellhound.
He caught the moment where Darrin was trying to reverse his body triangle to be the correct quote-unquote way, and use that to start to get his spin going here. Now, I'd love to see Sergio open up on top a little bit.
Talking about hounds, got to mention Sergio Rivera fighting for his dogs, Coco and Shogun. Once again, he predicted a second-round arm triangle. Maybe he's just feeling the strength of LaMantia here in the final frames of round one.
Yeah, and LaMantia throwing up the, I don't even know what to call it, the big brother bear hug around the legs and the rib there. It's not a whole lot of fun to be in. Not the highest level submission, but hopefully you can get your opponent to open up. Looking like he's going after an omoplata or a triangle here. Sergio seems wise to it.
Couple strikes from the bottom from the Cobra. Rivera just lawnmowering him around the cage to close out these first 3 minutes. Charlie Quinn, a good test, a good collision. I think they felt each other out.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, the power difference is a little bit, there's a little bit of a difference between the power, but they're feeling each other out. The end of that round was incredible. I'm excited for round two. James?
Yeah, I mean, this fight is living up to the hype. Both these guys are so skilled. Definitely two of the top at 125 for amateurs in this area, and I'm really I can't say enough how excited I am for this fight.
Got to mention that Sergio Rivera has never been finished. Darrin LaMantia did drop a third-round TKO to Eric Gonzalez earlier this year. Guess who Rivera beat? Eric Gonzalez.
Yeah. So
in July of last year.
Yeah, and that was a crazy fight, too, because that was our outdoor show last July where it started to rain mid-show. It didn't just start to rain mid-show. It started to rain the moment Sergio Rivera got his hands on Eric Gonzalez. Literally, he shot for a takedown, took Eric down, heavens open. And then an hour and a half later, the fight picked back up. It's crazy.
Tommy Santana gets us set for round number two between Rivera and LaMantia. Good test of styles and strengths. I expect each guy to open up a little bit more. There's a push kick from LaMantia.
LaMantia's got some flash in his back pocket, too. He throws some unorthodox stuff as he did some traditional karate as a kid.
He's a guy who has such high aspirations within the world of combat sports, and ever since I saw him first fight, it's hard to deny it. I mean, like I said, all the ingredients to potentially be a future superstar. There's a head kick. Rivera blocks it nicely.
See, there's some of that flash, that front leg hook kick, but Sergio coming out of No Limits Kickboxing, his instructor, a Taekwondo black belt, he's used to seeing some of that flash.
And those No Limits Kickboxing guys, I mean, they have some of the best stables in, this side. Oh! power takedown by the Hellhound.
And right in his corner, too. Right in front of Russell Petito, Rick Schaefer.
See him going for that arm triangle there, James.
Yeah, he's not quite there yet. And actually, the head positioning on the cage of LaMantia makes it a little harder for him. Now he's got the crossface where he could start to go for that arm triangle.
The objective is clear for the Hellhound. Darrin LaMantia defending nicely. Wrapping up the unhurts, pops out, but the Hellhound trying to wrap up the neck. There's the separation. LaMantia connects, but the Hellhound does as well. James, what would you like to see on the feet more from both guys?
Well, I'd like to see LaMantia busier. He is far more patient than he was earlier in his career, where he would come out like he was shot out of a cannon. And I'd like to see some of that beautiful diversity of strikes that Sergio has. Good guillotine attempt here from Darrin, but
Rivera.
I want to see how the scramble plays out.
Couple strikes. Hellhound deep on that left leg. He is an Energizer Bunny, just a man of perpetual movement.
Both of these guys are. It's, again, one of those things that makes this fight so interesting. Here we see Darrin taking the back again.
Not where you want to be for the Hellhound, but again, 65 seconds to go. Charlie Quinn, your thoughts?
About the same exact time frame from round one where he started to dig in for a submission attempt. See if he could change the difference in round two.
Well, one thing that is he's playing the body triangle, which is something that you do when you have very, very long legs. But because Sergio's moving side to side in an attempt to mitigate that body triangle, you kind of have to manage which side you have your legs locked on to avoid ankle locking yourself. But that was where Sergio took advantage in the first round, where he was able to take advantage of that moment and scramble and get on top.
The Cobra trying to snake those long arms under the chin. Rivera defending nicely, but Darrin LaMantia getting closer and closer. He's got 20 seconds to go.
I can't see if he's under the chin or not. Bad camera angle for us.
Well, Sergio Rivera fighting nicely, defending the hands.
Yeah, it's on his chin, and it's short enough time where Sergio can probably...
Hellhound pops up, reverses. Darrin LaMantia eating some shots at the end of round two. Now the Hellhound getting to work.
Woo! Beautiful almost
respect, yeah. Good knowledge by Rivera to hold off on launching that kick, but, you know, he's got the wits about him, always looking to pop out and damage his opponent. But James Donnelly, take us through these replays.
Here we see one of the first beautiful, the high amplitude takedown by Sergio Rivera. He's always a big fan of wrestling. Here we see the big finish from Sergio Rivera. Not many of these shots getting through there. And there's the kick that almost ended Tommy Santana's life.
The good news is you can't take any hair off of Tommy Santana. Exactly. He is bald. Charlie Quinn, 2 rounds in the can. Your thoughts?
I'm excited for round 3. I mean, it hasn't been anything short of what we expected through 2 rounds. I'm curious to see what James thinks. You're a big body language guy. What do you see here?
I can't read anything because Sergio always looks super confident and calm, and Darrin does too. Both men have had their moments in this fight, so it's hard for either guy to be feeling defeated or outclassed because, I mean, Darrin has had Sergio's back a couple of times. Sergio's had dominant position on Darrin a couple of times. It's hard for either guy to feel like the other guy's running away with it.
What do you think it does for a guy like Darrin? You know, he dominated the round, and then towards the end of the round, you saw success. How does that bode mentally going into this third round?
Well, here's the thing. If you're Darrin LaMantia, if this fight continues the way it's going, no matter how the scorecards read, you can say to yourself, you know what, I belong in here with the best.
So much love shared between Rivera and LaMantia. We've arrived at the final 3 minutes. There's a collision from LaMantia. He's landing on the Hellhound, James.
Exactly, and see it's that when he gets that going, Darrin LaMantia, when he gets that flash going, when he gets that freight train going, that's when he's so hard to deal with. But here's Sergio.
The combos, the pressure, the blitzes from Sergio Rivera have been a problem for LaMantia all night long. Excellent takedown, and again, you can tell he's looking for that arm triangle.
Exactly, but again, high altitude takedown, but Darrin doing exactly the right thing, saying, no, I got to get up, and I got to get up fast. Now, Sergio not in a whole lot of danger from this guillotine. Darrin's elbow's a little too high for this to really be effective, and the posture of Sergio a little too strong. Now things get a little more dangerous, but Sergio's still in on the hips and can kind of pick his position when this hits the ground.
Really elevating the posture, too, trying to keep his neck as high as possible. Another takedown for Rivera. 2 minutes to go. LaMantia on his back again, and that's where holding on to the guillotine becomes a problem, James.
Exactly, especially when your opponent's looking for a round 2 arm triangle. Beautiful kick out to side control and down to mount for Sergio Rivera. No fat in that motion whatsoever.
Now Rivera getting to some work with that right hand.
But beautiful work by LaMantia getting back to half guard. Here's Sergio looking for that arm triangle.
He has been gunning for it all night. Is this the attempt where he locks it in?
It could be.
Rivera swims over to the side. The Cobra taps out. The Hellhound sinks his teeth into LaMantia.
You're late.
Hey, he still got it done by way of arm triangle. The old guard bats away the youngster in what was a fire fight. Darrin LaMantia proves his merit and worth, but Rivera gets it done. James Leonelli, this highlight.
Listen, first thing I got to say to Darrin LaMantia, when you watch this back, you're going to be proud of yourself, kid, because you were in there with the best and had an amazing fight. Here's the arm triangle attempt from half guard. Sergio raises the hips, uses that little bit of an attempt of escape there by Darrin LaMantia to scramble out, goes after his arm triangle, tucks the elbow, tucks the head. That's all she wrote.
Adds another submission to the books at 30 years young. He hopes to join one championship with a performance like that. I could imagine the Hellhound making it there soon. What a win in the Azamura Ballroom.
Ladies and gentlemen, referee Tommy Santana calls a stop to this contest at 1 minute 32 seconds in the third round. With your winner by way of head and arm choke, Sergio the Hellhound